I paid for my sister's entire wedding, but when I asked where I'd be sitting, she said you can just stand. So I walked out. That night they begged for my card. I told them to ask the bride's family. What happened next was priceless. There are moments in life that change everything, right? For me, it wasn't a sudden explosion, but a slow, simmering burn that finally ignited the night my own family, at my sister's wedding rehearsal, told me to just stand quietly at the back. It hit me then, I wasn't just paying the bills anymore, I was paying to be completely invisible. My name's Max, I'm 28. Look, I was the oldest, the first one out of the house, the first to actually land a steady job that paid more than just rent and ramen noodles. And you know what that meant in my family? It meant I became the quiet solution to everyone else's messes. Not the golden child, though. Oh no, that title belongs squarely to my sister, Ava. She's 25, charming, loud, and frankly, allergic to consequences. If there was a spotlight, it found her face. If there was a bill, it found my wallet. That's just how it was. I'm a numbers guy, you know? I like lists, receipts, calendars. I like things that add up. My parents, on the other hand, they liked stories. Stories that made them look incredibly generous. My dad would hit me with the classic, family takes care of family, usually right before he asked for something. My mom, she was softer about it. You know how much we've done for you, she'd coo. The math was always vague, trust me. The guilt? Oh, that was crystal clear, never vague at all. I don't hate my family. I swear, I really don't. I kept showing up. Birthdays, Sunday dinners, those small crises that always started with, "Are you free for a minute?" and somehow ended 6 hours later with me lifting a sofa, or resetting a router, or, you guessed it, sapping money just until Friday. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself this is what good sons do. This is what family means. Then the engagement happened. Ava literally waved the ring at brunch like she was flagging down a plane. Her fiancé, Liam, seemed nice. A little too nice, maybe. He called me brother after knowing me for 10 minutes. My mom was already crying over Pinterest boards. My dad? He launched into these grand speeches about the day our princess deserved. The actual bill wasn't on the table yet, but I could already feel the heavy weight of it sitting right in my lap. The first real crack, the one that made me go, "Oh, here we go," showed up during the venue tour. I was there because they told me to meet them, just for your opinions, Max. We walked through this hall of chandeliers and these tiny, fancy forks. Ava was pointing at flowers, throwing out words like timeless and elevated. And the manager? He kept glancing at me whenever numbers came up. Old habit, I guess. When people want commitment, they look for the person who looks like they do spreadsheets. That's me. That's always been me. Weeks passed. Deposits materialized, then vanished. My card, it just kept going down 4 temporary holds. I kept the peace. I told myself I was helping her start her life. I told myself I'd be part of some sweet speech. I told myself, foolishly, this would be the time they actually saw me. Then came the rehearsal. 2 days before the wedding. We did a final walkthrough. Everyone was buzzing around in this happy cloud. Me? I stood in the back, hands in my pockets, just watching. When it wrapped up, people drifted into little clusters. I went looking for the seating chart. My name wasn't there. I checked again, slower this time. Still nothing. I spotted my mom by the doors. "Hey," I said, trying to keep it light, trying to ignore the prickle starting at the back of my neck. "Where should I sit?" She looked away, like the wall had just told a hilarious joke. "This is her day," she said, her voice soft, but utterly final. Ava, of course, heard us and floated over. Her makeup trial had made her eyes look too bright, almost manic. She giggled, "Haha. Maybe just stand quietly." She said it like it was cute, like I was a little kid misbehaving in church. I just stood there. No scene. No raised voice. I swallowed the heat that was crawling up my neck and nodded once. Got it. I turned around and left without a word. No dramatic exit, no mic drop. I just walked to my car, got in, and stared at the steering wheel until my hands finally stopped shaking. The sunset outside was a brutal, mean red. The first message buzzed on my phone before I even turned on the engine. Then the next. Then a call from an unknown number. I didn't pick up that night. They needed my card for the catering. I looked at the text. Urgent. They're asking for the final payment tonight. It's under your card from the tasting. Can you confirm? Another ping. Another please. The number climbed fast, 3, then 7, then 12. I typed one sentence. My hands hovered. I could hear Ava's careless laugh in my head. I could hear my mom's soft, "This is her day." I could feel every single temporary hold I'd covered for months. You know, I didn't just fall into this role overnight. It was a slow, agonizing boil. When I was 16, my dad forgot to pick me up from a late shift. I walked 3 miles home in the pouring rain, shoes squishing, phone dead. The next morning, he just joked, "Good cardio." But when Ava forgot her gym bag once, he left work immediately to deliver it, then posted on Facebook about father-daughter dedication. At 19, I co-signed my parents' consolidation loan because the bank hates our generation, Max. I didn't read all the fine print then. Later, I did. The interest rate absolutely loved me. The collection calls did, too. At 22, Ava's first apartment needed a deposit. Just until her scholarship funds come in. I put $900 on my card. That scholarship became a different major, then a semester off, then a dog. The deposit? It became a memory, and a photo of a dog in a sweater. By 25, I had a spreadsheet. I literally called it family. It had columns, date, request, amount, promised return, actual return, and notes. Those notes? They saved me from so much gaslighting. Mom, we'll pay you Friday. Paid $0. Sent heart emoji. Dad, we'll split it. Split means 100 to 0. Ava says it's for textbooks. Instagram showed Cabo. When Ava got engaged, I actually told myself it would be different. She'd grown up. Liam seemed decent. But then, my mom texted me a photo of the venue with 3 hard eyes emojis. We're booking Saturday. They need a deposit today. $1,500. Can you put it on your card, sweetie? We'll pay you back after we figure out the registry. I said, yes. It was a reflex, like checking a box. Then came florals just to secure the date, $750. DJ, they're running a promo. $300. Photographer, she's in high demand. $1,200. Tailor for Liam's suit, he can't use Afterpay, long story, $260. Every single one was temporary. Every single one landed on my same card. I tried to set boundaries. Small, polite ways. I suggested, hey, let's put everything through one wedding email, a shared tracker, you know? Mom's response? Oh, Max, don't make it complicated. We trust you. Ava just replied, also, LOL. Can you add custom neon to the tracker and a champagne tower? OMG. We had a planning group chat. It vibrated like a hive. 188 messages in one day. I read every single one. My name came up mostly attached to verbs, Max will, and Max can, and Max already did. On the rare times I replied with a question like, who's handling the remaining balance? The chat would go dead silent, then instantly shapeshift into what color napkins, and should we do pedal toss or bubbles? I tried talking to my dad in person. No phones, no emojis. He poured himself coffee and leaned on the counter like a referee. I'm not the villain here, he said, before I'd even asked anything. I just want clarity, I told him. Who's paying what? He just waved a hand. We're all pitching in. You know how this goes, Max. You're the steady one. Ava's creative. Your mom's coordinating. Liam's trying. Life assigns roles. Roles. I just repeated it. It'll come back around, he said. Don't keep score. But I kept score. Not to punish anyone, but to stay sane. It was the only way I knew how. The week before the wedding, we did a tasting. The coordinator slid the bill across the table like a final exam. $13,842. That was the final catering total. My heart did a tired sigh. My card was already on file from the deposit. We run this the night before, she said. Balance due then. I looked at my mom. She smiled like a commercial. We'll handle it. Ava poked me in the arm with her straw. Don't be such a face, she said. It's my wedding. I know, I said. She leaned in. Also, can you Venmo me $240 for my hair trial? The stylist only takes friends and family. Why me? I asked, utterly exhausted. She rolled her eyes. Because you're family. I paid it. I added it to the spreadsheet. I told myself I could have a real conversation after the honeymoon. When the glow wore off, and the bills sat heavy on the table. People are nicer when the glitter is gone, right? That was my lie. I kept it because it was warm. Then came the rehearsal night itself. It felt off from the start. I got there early, the way you do when you don't want to be the problem. I carried cases of water from the trunk because the venue doesn't do complimentary. I taped place cards because the event assistant hurt her wrist. I listened to 100 different plans buzz past me like flies. And then, it happened. The seating chart moment. My name, not in the grid. The air in my chest just turned thin. Where should I sit? I asked, my voice barely a whisper. This is her day, my mom said again, her eyes sliding away. Ha ha. Maybe just stand quietly, Ava chirped, bright and utterly careless. Something inside me paused. It wasn't rage. It wasn't tears. It was a very clean, very cold pause. I just left. I don't think anyone even noticed for a full 10 minutes. The group chat was still pinging about sparkler exits and late arrivals. I drove home on muscle memory, walked into my small apartment, and sat on the floor, surrounded by boxes I'd never fully unpacked. My laptop glowed with the wedding folder. Contracts, receipts, the neat paper trail of a person who, for some reason, still believed in fairness. At 9:07 p.m., the first urgent text landed. Caterer needs final card authorization tonight. They tried the number on file, and it declined because it's at limit from pre-authorizations. Can you just approve? We'll settle after. 2 minutes later, Max, they say if we don't pay by midnight, the price jumps. Another, we need you to be a team player. I looked at my spreadsheet. Total contributions to date, $7,994. Promised returns, $7,994. Actual returns, $0. I typed, asked the bride's family. I didn't send it. Not yet. My hands hovered over the keyboard. At 9:21 p.m., Ava texted me directly. Max. Answer. Where are you? We're in crisis. That was it. I sent it. Asked the bride's family. 3 gray dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Wow, another ping from my mom, we can talk about tone later. For now, we need the card. Another from my dad, don't make this about you. I put my phone face down. I made tea, because that's what people in movies do when they're trying not to scream. The kettle clicked off in the quiet apartment. I poured. I sat. I waited for the next part to arrive, like a train I could hear, but couldn't quite see. It came at 10:04 p.m. The group chat exploded. 27 messages in a row. Someone added me to a new thread titled Emergency Only. The coordinator was in it now, plus the caterer rep, plus Liam, who hadn't texted me once in 6 months. Caterer, we require payment by 11:59 p.m. per contract attached. Balance $13,842. Coordinator, as stated, the card on file ends in 4420. Mom, that's Max's. Me, do not authorize my card. Ava, Max. Stop. You're being dramatic. Me? I'm being clear. Liam, hey, man. It's for one night. We'll settle up Monday. Me, my running total is $7,994. Monday has been a lot of dates. Caterer, please advise. My phone lit up with calls. Mom, 2. Dad, 1. Ava, 4. Liam, 1. I didn't pick up. Then a text from a number I didn't have. It's Aunt D, honey, be reasonable. Your mother is in tears. Another unknown number, Uncle J, this is not the time. Another, Grandma, I thought we raised you better. They had my number when it was convenient. They had their boundaries when it wasn't. At 10:19 p.m., I drove back to the hotel. Not for a scene. For my keys. I'd left my house keys in my jacket at the rehearsal. The lobby smelled like lemon and stress. I took the elevator to the conference level where the bridal suite buzzed. Ava saw me first. Finally, she practically shrieked. Give Mom your card. I didn't step inside. I just leaned on the doorframe. No, I said. The room stilled. Hairspray paused midair. My mom's mouth pressed into a thin line. Max, she started, that tone that meant I was about to be cast as the villain in a play she'd rehearsed for years. This is your sister's wedding. I know what it is, I cut her off. I've been paying for it. Watch your tone, my dad said, from a corner chair, like a security guard who'd finally found a rule to enforce. Liam tried to be the bridge. We'll make it right, man. I looked at him. You called me brother when you needed chargers, rides, and deposits. You can call the caterer now. Ava's laugh had no joke in it this time. So what? You're punishing me? You think this is revenge? Around us, bridesmaids watched like it was TV. One of them held a lint roller and didn't even blink. This isn't about revenge, I said. I kept my voice steady, quiet. Deadly boring. This is about closure. Ava blinked. What does that even mean? It means, I told her, I'm done paying to be treated like I don't exist. You told me to stand quietly at the back of a wedding I funded. So, I'm stepping all the way back. My mom shook her head. We'll talk after the honeymoon. We always talk after, I said. After becomes never. I'm done with after. My dad stood up, looming. You will not ruin this day. I won't, I said, meeting his gaze. Your budget might. Ava's voice cracked. You can't do this to me. I already did, I said. Every time I said yes. This is my first no. Silence. Then my mom reached for her phone, her fingers trembling. Fine, she said, that brittle voice. We'll call the Whitmans. The bride's family. She spat it out like a curse. They promised to cover the rehearsal dinner. They can stretch. I just nodded. Asked the bride's family. I stepped back, found my jacket on the chair, slipped my keys into my pocket, and left. Not a slam, not a dramatic turn. Just the sound of the door pushing soft against a carpet that had seen 1,000 polite exits. In the elevator, my phone trembled like it was alive. 14 new texts. 2 voicemails. One from my grandmother, Maxwell, please. One from my dad, we'll discuss consequences. I stared at my reflection in the chrome. My face looked calm. My heart felt like a tired animal finally lying down. In the car, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and drove home. The night was cold and honest. I slept 8 hours without a dream for the first time in months. I woke up to 74 missed calls. The group chat had 112 new messages. The emergency-only thread? That was a battlefield. Caterer, payment received at 11:53 p.m. Balance cleared. Coordinator, we're confirmed for tomorrow. Reminder, guest arrival 4:30 p.m. Mom, handle Ava, crisis averted. You're unbelievable, Max. Liam, we're good. Appreciate your help. Anyway. I scrolled up. 2 messages from an unknown 617 number. This is Mr. Whitman. Then, we have covered the catering as requested. We are disappointed by the behavior displayed. The bride's family paid. The phrase just sat in my chest like a bright, cold coin. Not satisfaction, just truth. At 9:12 a.m., my mom called again. I let it ring out. Then a text, we'll have your suit at will call. Ceremony at 5. Do not be late. My stomach flipped. I'd been erased last night, then penciled back in as staff. At 10:03, my dad, family photo at 6:15. Don't make your mother beg. I made coffee. I didn't delete any of the messages. I opened my spreadsheet and added a line, catering covered by bride's family. My card, $0. I felt a small, precise click inside me. Not joy. Alignment. At noon, Ava called. I answered. What do you want me to say? She began, no hello. We fixed it. So, can you stop being dramatic and just show up? No, I said. No to what? She snapped. No, I'm not coming. Silence. 3 seconds. 4. Then a laugh, utterly devoid of air. Max, grow up. I am, I said. Right now. You're punishing me on my wedding day. I'm protecting me on your wedding day. She exhaled hard. Mom is crying. She cried when the Whitmans pushed back too, I said. She'll recover. You're going to regret this, she hissed. I already regret plenty, I told her. This won't be on the list. I hung up. I put my phone on the counter and paced the 6 steps of my kitchen. The quiet felt wrong and right at the same time. My hands still wanted to do something. Print a timeline, iron a shirt, fix a crisis. But there was no crisis assigned to me anymore. The day spread out in front of me like a blank form, waiting for my name. At 2:47 p.m., Andy texted, I saved you a seat near the back. I stared at that sentence for a long time. A seat near the back. The generosity of crumbs. At 3:10, Liam sent a long paragraph. Something about stress. Something about understanding each other, man to man. Please, he wrote. I typed, I'm out. I showered. I sat on the edge of my bed with a notebook I'd been ignoring. I wrote 2 lists. Keep asterisk my sanity. My paycheck. My weekends. My phone number. Muted. Lose asterisk the group chat. The idea that I owe anyone for existing. After we'll settle. Standing quietly. At 4:30 p.m., I imagined guests arriving. I'd done enough events to picture the flow. The coat check line, the photo station, the row of candles no one needs, the string quartet that sounds like a rich hospital. I pictured my mom greeting people like she owned the venue. I pictured my dad shaking hands like he was running for something. At 5:02, my grandma called. I answered. Maxwell, she said, her voice small. Are you here? No, Grandma, I said, softer than I felt. I'm home. She sighed. Your mother is a mess. I know, I said. But I can't fix her. She went quiet. You were always the fixer. I resigned, I said, trying to make it sound like a joke. It came out like a fact. Are you coming to the reception? She asked. No. A pause. Okay, she said finally. I love you. I love you, too. At 5:30, photos started to show up from cousins. Group shots. Ava in white. Liam smiling like it was easy. My mom's captions were sunny. No one tagged me. When I didn't give the day money, the day didn't give me a name. At 7-Eleven, I got a photo of the family table. My chair was filled by a man I didn't know. The card in front of him read Maxwell. He looked like he thought he was doing me a favor by existing in my outline. At 8:02, the first problem. Dad, they're asking about the open bar. Manager says our tab is pre-limited. Can you come by and extend? The assumption jumped off the screen and landed on my chest. Can you come by? Like I was the bartender. Like I was on call. Me? No. Dad, don't be petty. Me, boundaries are not petty. At 8:19, Ava again, the photo booth vendor says the balance is still outstanding. $1,380. This is humiliating. Me, you have a husband and 2 sets of parents. Ava, you're enjoying this. Me, not even a little. At 9:03, the Whitmans texted me from that 617 number again. We handled the catering as requested. We expect reimbursement from your parents per our agreement. The subtext screamed. They had assumed my parents would pay. My parents had assumed I would. I had assumed someone would do the right thing if I did not. That third assumption finally landed hard. At 10:12, I got a video of the first dance. I watched it once. They looked happy. I didn't feel spite. I just felt tired. I closed it and went for a walk in my neighborhood. It smelled like laundry and rain. I turned my phone off at 11 o'clock. When I turned it on the next morning, the messages had shifted. From anger to negotiation, to control, to quiet. The last one, at 1:43 a.m., was from my mom. We'll talk tomorrow. You made everything harder. But we are family. Tomorrow came. I didn't answer the door when they knocked. 3 times. I didn't answer the phone. 9 calls. I didn't answer the text that said, we need to settle accounts. I sent 1 email instead. With a PDF attachment. My spreadsheet, but with a new tab, wedding. It had dates, amounts, payers. The catering line with Whitmans. The photo booth with TBD. At the bottom, I wrote, all future requests must be in writing, with who pays, when, and how. My default answer is no. Within an hour, my dad replied. 1 sentence, you think you're better than us. I typed back, I think I'm separate from you. Then I silenced the thread and began to rebuild my weekend. I did laundry. I cleaned the stovetop I'd been ignoring for ages. I made a grocery list. I set my phone to filter unknown numbers to voicemail. It felt like moving furniture in my head. Hard at first, then incredibly roomy. The fallout lasted weeks. Small fires, petty smoke. My mom alternated between cold and syrup. One day, how could you abandon your sister? Next day, lunch, my treat. I declined both. My dad tried a different tactic. We'll pay you back when tax season hits. I sent him a screenshot of the spreadsheet totals and said, I won't be carrying balances until then. Ava posted a caption under a photo of her bouquet, the people who matter were there. I didn't comment. I didn't send a DM. I muted her stories and ordered myself a decent set of knives with the money I didn't spend on an open bar. It wasn't clean. Boundaries never are. I missed my grandma, though. I sent her flowers on a Tuesday for no occasion. She called to say thank you. She didn't mention the wedding. I didn't either. We talked about her porch plans like they were headline news. Work felt brighter. Not because anything changed there, but because I wasn't half present, half waiting for the next crisis. I took a Saturday trip by myself, 2 hours upstate. A small trail, a big sky. I ate a sandwich on a rock and laughed out loud once for no reason. It startled a bird. A month later, the Whitmans emailed a group thread, including me, my parents, and Ava. Subject: reimbursement, catering. The body was polite, firm. They attached their receipt. They asked for half from my parents within 14 days, per the original plan. My mom replied with a paragraph about unexpected circumstances and we thought Max had offered and family emergencies. I replied with one line, I did not offer. For days after that, my dad dropped an envelope through my mail slot. Inside was a check for $1,200 with a sticky note, for some of the stuff. I mailed it back with my own sticky note, apply this to the Whitmans' request. He called, furious. You're ungrateful. I'm organized, I said. He hung up. 2 months out, the noise finally faded. The group chat died. The emergency-only thread never pinged again. Ava texted me on a Wednesday. So, are we not speaking? I answered, we can speak. We can't transact. She replied with an eye-roll emoji. Then a photo of her dog in a bow tie. I sent a heart. That's where we left it. I didn't become a different person overnight. I still fix things, but they're my things. I still make spreadsheets, just mine. I still show up, but now it's by choice. I wake up, and my phone is quiet, and my head is quiet. And that quiet? It's not a punishment anymore. It's a boundary, breathing. Here's what I know now. I'm not the family ATM, or the extra seat, or the invisible hand under the table passing the bill to the waiter. I'm not standing quietly at the back of my own life so someone else can look centered in theirs. I don't owe anyone proof that I'm kind. I owe myself proof that I can stop when it hurts. So, I did. I won't pay to be disrespected again. I won't sit in a chair that has my name on it if the only reason it does is because someone needed a wallet attached to a body. I won't sign my name to a crisis I didn't create. I'm building a new routine that fits in the space I cleared. Coffee runs, calls I initiate, visits I plan, gifts I choose. If they want me at a table, they'll put my name there before the bill arrives. If they don't, I have my own. And at my table, I decide the menu. And who gets a seat.